What do you know about Mars? Do you think it's as ruinous, dry, and uninhabitable as we're told? In such a large solar system, have you ever wondered why we're the only ones privileged to have life? Many hypotheses and findings indicate strange creatures inhabit the neighboring planet, although much remains to be discovered. Alien base or research field? This image of what could be the surface of a flying saucer buried in a Mars area was leaked from NASA's archives. We don't know why the space experts denied the existence of that object. Do you see anything in the picture? At first glance, it only looks like a pile of reddish soil, but if you look closely, the images change when you play with its brightness and shadow. Then you can clearly see the strange structure. What is that thing anyway? We don't know. It has a dome roof and small spaces underneath it that could be windows. The only sure thing is that, because of the color and characteristics, it had to have been created by something or someone trained and with access to technology. What do you think it is? We believe it's a human research base of the ruins of something that was destroyed or abandoned for some reason. The photos were taken by the Mars rover Curiosity, a motorized vehicle sent by NASA, which since 2014 has been traveling through large areas of land searching for alien life on that planet. The Watchman from Mars. Life on Mars has been one of NASA's greatest secrets. However, we know that even the existence of aliens and UFOs is a taboo subject for many people who are skeptical. Several years ago, these images published on NASA's official website caused surprise to those who saw them. You've probably heard that the satellites launched on the Red Planet are in constant search of secret inhabitants. Have they finally found something? Pay close attention and draw your own conclusions. Did you see it? Is it a rock, a Martian, or a defender of that planet? In either case, this disproves some scientists that think life on Mars has been extinct for a long time. This suspicious object fulfills all the characteristics we know about aliens: elongated head, black eyes, and no nose. But one thing caught our attention. It's apparently wearing a strange suit and holding something in his hands, like a weapon. Could it be a soldier petrified in one of the Star Wars movies? And if it were a stone, wouldn't you be suspicious of its shape and form? Man sees Mars's past. NASA isn't the only one interested in knowing the secrets of Mars. The CIA declassified a document that, if true, could change what we know about the origin of life on our planet. And if we told you how they got the information, you wouldn't believe us. According to what they wrote, they collected everything through remote viewing. Yes, it's like an extrasensory activity, similar perhaps to astral travel or a real version of Marvel's Doctor Strange. As the man with this gift described what he was seeing, the researchers were shocked. The most amazing thing is that he didn't know that the coordinates or the date he was talking about were from the planet Mars millions of years ago. What did that mysterious man discover? According to the record, he spoke of very tall pyramids, ships, and humanoids fighting against an environmental collapse of the planet. Yeah, it sounds like something similar to an apocalypse that happened to them. After that, all that remained was dust and desolation. If you think about it, it's a theory that fits with the mysterious things that they've discovered, like a civilization like ours really existed. Can you imagine what would have happened if that information had leaked out? Do you believe the CIA? The face of Mars. Mars never ceases to amaze us. Despite advances in technology and research, we know very little about it. Almost the entire surface is pure rock. But there's one thing that caught our attention, and we're sure will also leave you in doubt. Its shape is similar to that of a human face, with the silhouette of his eyebrows, nose, and even a perfectly shaped beard. Some people said it was possibly carved by an ancient god who belongs to another galaxy and left it there to prove we're not the only planet with life. It's crazy, right? There were many people with too much imagination. As a curious fact, we'll tell you this hasn't been the only finding of this kind. In 1976, the Viking space probe took a photograph that would later become known as the face of Mars. According to some scholars of ufology, these faces could be an ancient monument carved by an extraterrestrial civilization millions of years ago. That is to say, life on Mars did exist. Or maybe our minds are playing tricks on us. Leave us your opinion in the comments. The mysterious woman from Mars. In 2014, there was another public proof of the existence of life on Mars. The NASA's rover Curiosity captured a somewhat surprising image. As you can see in the photo, it's the silhouette of a humanoid being whose characteristics are similar to those of a woman. It's believed that its size was around 8 or 10 centimeters. Small, isn't it? Do you think it's just a stone? We don't know that, but if you look closely, it's like it's holding something with one of its hands. In addition to this, it's got a head, arms, and long hair. There are those who call it the Martian Yeti. But since the brain can play tricks and recreate images that are familiar to us, the only way to be certain about this unusual finding is to have NASA make an official statement. As if the situation weren't confusing enough, sometime later when they returned to the same place, the silhouette was no longer there. Did the female humanoid move? Or was it never there and it was just rocks blown away by the wind? When the video leaked to YouTube, it had over 1.5 million views in just a few days. What do you think? Tell us your hypotheses in the comments. They found evidence of alien intelligence. We're definitely becoming more and more convinced that there were civilizations on Mars, as the CIA claimed. And it's because proofs like these encourage us to think that maybe they were like us. The only difference is that they weren't as lucky as us here on Earth. If you don't believe us, how would you explain what you're about to see? In a regular tour of the red planet's surface, a stone stands out from the rest. If you look at the edges of the rock, it seems to be carved and polished to perfection. Besides, that perfect circle on the top doesn't look like the result of erosion, but rather of someone with motor skills and intelligence. But who or what could have done that? It's a question that NASA doesn't want or still can't answer. Perhaps it was part of a great structure that disappeared millions of years ago. To know the truth about Mars, you have to put together all the clues you have. Yeah, like you're playing a puzzle game. The amazing thing is that there are people whose job is to look for and give answers to what NASA doesn't want to tell us. Humanoid made of light walks on Mars. A being made of light appeared in one of the NASA photos, just as you heard it. If we put together all the evidence, we'd find an encouraging scenario for those who believe in extraterrestrial life. Yes, if we compare the previous image of the woman with that of this humanoid form, we can realize that they're extraterrestrial beings, but very different from each other. Maybe life on Mars is very diverse, or maybe it's just the result of a flashing light. But on an uninhabited planet, what would cause such a visual illusion? It's a good question to think about. From afar, you can see an elongated, almost shapeless light. But when you zoom in on the image, you can see that it becomes something similar to the so-called humanoids. You can see legs, arms, and something similar to horns. Did you notice? The people who saw these images think that the alien was walking the surface of the planet when NASA posted robots inadvertently captured that moment. However, there were no official statements, and the rumors soon began to appear. Worms on Mars. We've all heard rumors that Mars, at some point in history, had water, and that even more of this liquid could be in the ground. Some images taken by rover Curiosity awoken the curiosity of several researchers working in different areas of science. In fact, they came even closer to see something that would surprise them. Yes, after so many discoveries, it really can't be only rocks, as they always say. Apparently, they discovered fossils of little worms. They used rover's most powerful camera and took other pictures that added even more data to what they already knew. Their size was 2 to 5 millimeters, even smaller than the worms that we know. Also, if you observe the photo, you'll notice that they have a strange shade, like light green. In fact, they didn't know what to say when they made such a discovery. However, Barry DiGregorio, a leading researcher at the Center for Astrobiology in Buckingham, said they are very similar to the hundreds of fossils he has photographed here on Earth. This advance is very important for NASA and humanity, which trusts it. What's hidden in that big rock? When NASA published this photo of Mars on the web, reactions didn't take long to show up. Fans of this topic and who followed the discoveries found something surprising. Do you see it in the picture? Although it's a little hard to tell the difference with the naked eye, when you zoom in, you see a crab. Yes, but a giant alien crab. However, it seems a bit unusual, because if you think about it, how does a crab survive without water? Maybe that's not the right question, because it looks like a fossil. This is the right question. How did a crab get to Mars? If this is one of the few proofs of the existence of fauna on that planet, why haven't other species been found? NASA's silence has left many questions unanswered. As always, the skeptics said it was people's minds playing tricks on them, and that it was probably a rock with the form of the animal. For them, all the discoveries of the rover Curiosity so far are nothing but dust and stones. Or maybe they're using these arguments to divert the followers' attention and be able to conduct the investigations without controversy.
Water discovered on planet Mars. The research on Mars and its life has been a topic of interest in research for a long time. NASA, as well as ESA, European Space Agency, have proven the fact that Mars consisted of water once, likely in its earliest years. However, it's not been concluded yet when or how many years ago it had water. After a long period of research, it's been theorized that water was once there during the infancy of the planet, responsible for life. New research has theorized that water was on the red planet for millions of years, sufficient enough for the evolution of life. It was also concluded that water on the planet came in patches, appearing and then disappearing with changes in climate. However, to dig into this matter further, many other types of research have been underway, and some have concluded certain segments regarding the existence of water on the red planet. Surely something would have led to the presence of water, which is now mostly dry. Understanding the climate on Mars requires a lot of research, though. Mars. Research on the red planet is never-ending. After checking a few samples of rocks on Mars, on August 9th, NASA's Curiosity rover had a 360-degree panoramic view of its surroundings at its current location, Vera Rubin Ridge. The most recent drill target of the rover is named Storr, which is a place in Scotland where important discoveries about the early life of Earth have been made. The Curiosity team has used a new drilling method, as the previous methods didn't work due to the unprecedented density of hard rocks. The ridge consists of rocks with different colors. Some can be seen with the naked eyes, while the others are only visible through infrared rays. The ridge is so strong that it can stand wind erosion. 2 different internal laboratories have been given the samples to test why the rocks are so hard. It may be the water flowing under the ridge that makes it so strong. The ridge is rich in the mineral hematite, a mineral that forms in the water, stated by Vasaveda. More research will be conducted on the surrounding rocks, which are rich in clay and sulfate minerals.